with my fundraising and PowerPoint skills, his development skills and leadership, like we're going to have to do something at scale. And so ran through a lot of ideas, prototyped, investors ready to go. But we wanted to figure out something we were passionate about. And COVID gave us the time to kind of figure out what we had passion for and what we didn't. So we came up with tons of ideas. We're going to solve the mail crisis. We're going to help people negotiate their first car via text message. Cool stuff on paper. Once you build a business plan or build a prototype, that wasn't for us. It was clear. So we sat down one day. We had some inspiration, i.e. a glass of Woodford Reserve.
Not a sponsor, but if they want to be.
Can be. And we said, what's the biggest issue that we saw in the corporate landscape? I had worked for the DoD. He had worked for Lockheed Martin. And we came up with an idea of, professional development isn't like it should be. So we love learning. Ended up discovering he had issues with tuition reimbursement through Lockheed Martin's administrative process. I had issues. I got a master's degree through the DoD. It wasn't something I was gearing to do, and there were some administrative issues. So we said, how can we help the most amount of people? Well, shoot, anyone we know is always taking courses, reading publications, going to conferences, consistently developing in their career. So why don't we work in the professional development world? Not graduate degrees or undergraduate degrees, but rather what everybody needs every single day of their life and companies are willing to pay for. So we built OneRange, which is a AI-powered intelligent upskilling marketplace that helps companies do that very, very efficiently for all of their employees at the individual level.
After spending 5 years at Block Party, getting punched in the face, I assume, repeatedly, and just dealing with the world that is startups, where did you find that energy to be I guess I'll do this again?
I got a chip on my shoulder.
Okay.
Right? Because we did a really good job. We were running multi-million-dollar business, probably 35 employees, 160 around the country. I had something to prove. And if you're close to me, whether it's on a sports team or in a classroom or in a professional setting, if you tell me that I can't do something, or I'm going after it.
Yeah.
And so if you say you can never beat this team, I'm going to make it my mission to do it. And that gives me a tremendous amount of focus and motivation. And so getting close to the exit I wanted was great, but man, I'm so much smarter than I was when I started Block Party. So let's do it again. Let's make sure we're with the right people to do this. And so I've never lost energy for any of that.
What has the journey been so far, and what does the future look like?
Great question. As I take a bite of muffin top.
Exactly.
So we started about 3 years ago. Immediately, we believe we cracked the code on what was an insight of ours, in that corporate learning and skill development has to be driven by the employee if it's going to help them. Kind of makes sense. They're the ones learning, but companies have to sponsor it. So the first product we ever put out into the world was basically a tool that let employees choose what they wanted, and let companies approve it, and then track the data, spend, skills, and everything going along the way. And the usage was out of control. We've never suffered from employees knowing what they want and getting it through our platform. Fantastic. Unit economics, product, all of that good stuff. Working with companies of different sizes, we're learning a lot in the space. We've also learned there's a lot more problems than just what we saw in corporate learning. So business models that don't align with HR and employees, companies that are disconnected from what employees are looking for or want. And then there's trends of employees want different things at different times. So what are companies willing to pay for? And that's what energizes us, right? That's the challenge in cracking that code. It's just as much product as it is distribution. And, as a second-time founder, distribution is the key to a lot of this, right? You have to be good at the product, but we're so focused on distribution. And so we're trying to get our product to scale. We've been lucky enough, Huten and myself, to hire from previous companies that we've built. So our team are all people that are transitioning into our industry, software technology, but we've worked with as humans in the past. So we're very proud to do that. And it's a very good way to start a startup.
Having been a professional baseball player, DIA, Navy, MBA, 2-time startup founder, is there a common skill or lesson that's kind of transcended across those industries, professions, etc.?
I don't know is that there's anything that would be labeled as a skill that kind of there's that. I'll go back to learning is very innate. From birth. you have this desire to learn, right? It's kind of the business model that we're running right now because we believe in it so much.